before there was ever Medea, there was a Miss Betsy B. And so she, came forth tonight, and she did her little thing. And so,
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Betsy B for those that don't know or is
okay,
not familiar with Betsy B, because a
right.
lot of younger generation know more of Medea as opposed to, a lot of younger generations.
You heard her now. Tell her about me and all the things. All right, I'll tell her. Go on now, tell it now. You go ahead and spruce it up, right? I'm going to spruce it up, all right? Okay, I'm going to spruce it up. Oh, you hear her? Anywho, Miss Betsy B, she's kind of like in the 60-ish age. I'm 40. She's in the 60s. Don't listen to her. And she's very flamboyant. She thinks she's a diva of all times, never to cease. And she just loves making people laugh. She has the southern twang and countryside of her, and she just knows how to be everything but not funny. And so she's been blessed to go different places. She's even been here before. People call for her like crazy.
Okay.
For Miss Betsy B. One day she'll hook up with Medea, but right now she's been doing her own thing. The funny thing about it, how this character came about, I was actually sitting down watching TV, and there was a commercial that came on. It was just a general commercial, and the Lord spoke to me with how weird this is. People have God in a box so, locked up that they can't even imagine that God will speak to you as such. But on that day, he did speak to me. He says, I want you to do comedy. And I'd say, you want me to do what? He says, I want you to come up with a character. So he began to visualize to me the type of character he wanted me to do. He said, I'll show you how to do the makeup, this, that, and the third. And to let me know that he wants to use this talent to really bless people with laughter. And the first time I did this show, I was only supposed to be on the stage for 15 minutes, but the people were so, dying laugh until the producer said, was giving me the signal, keep going, keep going. And it was after the show, this lady came up to me. And she said, I wasn't going to come out tonight. My friend invited me. And but I came out, and I'm so glad I did. I've never laughed so much in my life, she said, because I've been battling with suicidal thoughts. And I was like, wow. And the Lord let me to know, see, this is why I want you to do this, so you can inspire people, And so I always pray. Just like we pray before we sing, we pray before we preach, I pray literally before I go up and do comedy, that the Lord would give me discernment to make sure I can discern the crowd and who would be a good sport to the things that he would have me to say.
Wow, that's pretty
Tonight was
amazing.
improv.
Just putting God as first before you do your
Every
act.
single thing.
That's very important
Every
because
single thing.
nowadays you have people that they forget to give God thanks
Right.
once they've made it to
Right.
a certain stage in their life.
When I can breathe on my own, then I can take credit for everything else. Until that happens, everything goes to him.
Right.
Because when it's all over, really all you are is an instrument. That instrument cannot play on its own. It has to be utilized, and it has to be accessible to be used. And that's me. Whatever the will of the Lord is, that's what will be. But after he's finished with doing what he wants to do through me, then I am still yet responsible to live a life pleasing unto him. My talents do not make up for that. They do not take the place of me still living for the Lord. I'm just grateful that he even thought of me to even, have all these multitudes. Sometimes I mean, like, God, you gave me too much. I don't even know what to start with. You gave me too much. But it's like, all I know, I need to go to the grave empty.